Hello. I got something for you guys today. And as always, I took my notes. But this is a complete spoiler-filled review of Captain America Civil War. And yeah, I took my notes so I could refer to them and speak to you guys as I put them down, of course. Anyway, um so Captain America Civil War. Um Maybe I should put these over here. Alright, so we start off seeing the Winter Soldier being created and conditioned. And, he gets sent to get some shit. And he makes a car wreck happen and kills some people. And he kills the people in the car after he makes them wreck and all that. And there's this guy that has a book with a star on it, and I kept, throughout this notes, I kept calling him the torture guy. So if I refer to the torture guy or the bad guy, that's who I'm talking about. But anyway, that took place back in like 1991. I think it was 1991. Anyway, then we flash forward to the present day, and Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Falcon, and Captain America are all on a mission to stop some bad guys. And the bad guys have big trucks and they make some wrecks happen. And they got weapons and armor and a biological weapon that Captain America winds up finding. And they basically get their asses handed to them for the most part in that part. And, they kind of get their asses handed to them. Captain America, winds up kind of they all kind of split up, and Captain America is fighting this one guy that kind of kicked Black Widow's ass and threw her in a tank and dropped a bomb in there, and she managed to get out and all this stuff. And then Captain America is fighting this guy, and anyway, the Falcon has a really cool drone throughout this called the Red Wing that kind of saves Captain America's ass. And that guy's giving Captain America some trouble. And when Captain America finally manages to, talk to him and get the dude's helmet off, he's basically like, you'll never stop us, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time he's talking, he's kind of disintegrating and all that shit. And he's going to self-destruct. And that's basically what he does. And Scarlet Witch manages to save everyone. Scarlet Witch controls the destruction or the explosion and saves everybody's ass. Not just the team, but everyone around them. And then we flash to young Tony Stark talking to his parents, and his mom tells him that this is the last time that they'll ever be together. And it turns out to be a program that he kind of made, and it projects people's memories, and he talks about how no one is ever going to invest in that technology, and he's talking to a group of people, and he's like, no one will ever invest in this, but, blah, blah, I'll invest in you. Every single one of your projects are funded now. And so he lets these people go, or lets them know, and they start celebrating, and they're happy, that all their projects are going to be funded. After he leaves the stage, he's in the hallway, and he meets a woman who, she's from the State Department, and she gives him information on her son, Charlie Spencer. And Charlie Spencer had passed away due to the Avengers doing some stuff. He was collateral damage in an Avengers fight. But anyway, kind of building on that, right after that, the Avengers are getting blamed for all kinds of crazy destruction on MSNBC. Captain America and Scarlet Witch are talking about it. The Vision shows up and tells them that Stark is there with the Secretary of State. So the Secretary of State briefs them on public opinion of the Avengers, that they're too out of control. and they're causing too much trouble. And he shows them examples of the damage that they've caused. You know, shows them clips of the Incredible Hulk doing shit and various other things. And he lets them know that they will no longer be unsupervised and they will operate under the United Nations and only as requested. So some of them aren't happy. They kind of talk back and forth about it. Then we go to the guy, the torture guy. He has the book with the star again, and he's using it to torture another guy and looking for information about a specific date. We go back to the Avengers, and the Avengers are debating about what must be done. Stark says that they need to be put in check. Captain America disagrees, and people begin choosing sides. We flash to Agent Carter's funeral, and Captain America, is there listening, to a woman give a speech about, her Aunt Peggy, and all that stuff, and it just kind of she's talking about, how, Peggy Carter wouldn't let anybody tell her how to do how she wanted to do it, and so she just did things her own damn way, and that further goes to motivate, Captain America to do things his own way. And where the hell am I? Oh yeah. So that motivates his feelings on being regulated. And the UN has a meeting to discuss the Avengers, and only Black Widow attends. And there is a bombing outside. And while that's going on, Captain America chats up that I guess we'll call her Peggy's niece, Agent Carter's niece. She works for the CIA, so Captain America chats up the pretty CIA lady, and then that's how he learns about the bombing. And the Winter Soldier is the suspect in the bombing. Captain America contacts Black Widow, and she tells him to stay back. He refuses. The CIA girl gives him intel, and now the Star Book. Now we flash to the guy with the Star Book again, and he's torturing a dude, and he's preying on it. There's a lot of flashbacks and forwards in this movie. So then he's preying on it, and he has a big weapon. And then so now we find the Winter Soldier in Bucharest. And the Winter Soldier, Captain America's looking for him. He finds him, and he's talking to him, telling him, hey man, people are after your ass, and we don't want any shit, don't kill anybody. And a raid ensues, and Winter Soldier's like, I'm not killing anybody, and he goes to escape. And during the bombing, there was a prince. I think it was a prince and his father, and the father wound up dying. And so, it shows the prince, holding his father after the explosion. But anyway, I was backtracking. Anyway, the raid ensues. They're going after Winter Soldier. Captain America helps him escape. And then Black Panther shows up, and he goes after the Winter Soldier. And Winter Soldier tries to run away. Captain America is trying to go after him. The cops tell Captain America to stand down, and refuses. Falcon comes in and tries to help, and the Black Panther is still on the Winter Soldier, just wants to kick his fucking ass. And the cops and War Machine show up and let them know that they're criminals and they're under arrest. And they get arrested, and so then we have another flash. Meanwhile, Scarlet Witch and the Vision are cooking food. They're chilling out, cooking some food, and he tells her that she's not a bad person, and then he explains his powers, in correlation to hers, and how he doesn't understand everything he can do, like she doesn't understand everything she can do, and all that kind of stuff. she decides she wants to go somewhere to get something, and he's like, no, no. She's like, oh, so you're not going to let me leave? And he says it's for safety concerns. And she's like, well, I don't have any problems. He's like, well, it's not for your safety. And it turns out that Tony Stark had ordered the Vision to keep her, where she was. She's not allowed to leave. And so then we see Captain America and everyone being held in custody, and Black Panther and the Captain talk, and Black Panther is the prince whose father died. And so Black Panther just vows, I'm going to get the Winter Soldier, and you're not going to fucking stop my ass. They get to their holding area, their facility, and they're told that they have no lawyers, and they're going to have an office instead of a cell, and that they need to stay there. And yeah. Anyway, and then so then we go to fucking Black Widow and Tony Stark are there, and they basically let Captain America and everyone know what's going on and how it's going to be. You guys can't leave, and this is, we're fucking working with the UN and all that shit, and you guys aren't going to fucking do anything about it. So fall in line, motherfuckers, basically. Stark talks about how he trashed all his shoot. He's talking to Captain America, and they start talking about, their women and all that. And Tony Stark talks about how he trashed all his Iron Man suits to not lose, Pepper Potts. And Captain America talks about Agent Carter and their past. Stark basically says, well, we need you, Captain America. Be on our side. And Captain America's like, no, I don't want to be. And so then they start debating about the Winter Soldier being a bad guy, and they start debating about the regulation that they're going to be imposed under. And so then, they're hanging out, and the Winter Soldier starts getting evaluated by a psychiatrist type guy. And anyway, Captain America and the others are watching on a screen, and while this is going on, some dude shows up with a package delivery. And the guy evaluating the Winter Soldier gets a notification saying package delivered. And right after that, the package detonates, and it was more of like an implosion rather than an explosion. But it takes out all the power, and while that's going on, the evaluator starts talking to the Winter Soldier and starts getting in his head and kind of like reactivates him. And he escapes, and he escapes, and the evaluator guy starts bringing up December 16th, 1991. And the Winter Soldier, escapes, gets away. Captain America and Falcon go after him. Winter Soldier beats up Captain America and the Falcon. Stark calls for a lockdown. He sneaks around, and everybody goes after the Winter Soldier, basically. And he winds up kind of getting away, and he escapes to a helicopter, and Captain America runs up there and holds onto the damn helicopter, won't let him get away. And the helicopter crashes, and they go into the water, and Captain America saves him. And then we see the torture guy with the book again, and he's in an airport, and he sees everything that went down on the news in the airport. Captain America has the Winter Soldier hidden away, and he's talking to him. And the soldier says he's not the only Winter Soldier. And they flash back to 1991. And from the beginning in the movie where the car crash was. And, it shows lots of people being experimented on. And there's the torture guy kicking everyone's ass. And the Winter Soldier talks about the serum and how the program and how they can all hide in plain sight. All these people can speak different languages, and he's not the only Winter Soldier. And there's so many of them scattered throughout the world. They can speak every language, and they're all hidden, and you'll never notice they're even there. But he knows a guy that can help him. And then we go to Stark and Black Widow, and they're telling their superiors that they will, and they're talking to their superiors, and the guy from the UN tells them that they have 36 hours to find Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And Stark wants the Hulk. He wants the Hulk to go get him, but Black Widow, he can't have the Hulk, and Black Widow knows somebody else. And so now we flash to fucking Peter Parker. Fucking Peter Parker. Peter Parker comes home, and Tony Stark's sitting on the couch chilling with Aunt May, and starts talking to Peter Parker, and they're kind of talking in code, like Aunt May doesn't know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, but Iron Man knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And so they're kind of talking in code that, Peter's getting this grant from the Stark Foundation and all that shit, to do whatever. So they kind of talk in code in front of Aunt May, and then they go to Peter's room to talk in private. Tony Stark calls him out for being Spider-Man. Peter denies it. Stark calls bullshit, and Peter admits it after Stark shows him some clips of Spider-Man and all this stuff. They talk about Peter Parker's powers and his motivation for why he does what he does, and Peter Parker is always a good kid, so Stark likes him. Now we flash to Scarlet Witch, and Hawkeye shows up, and he's trying to help her escape from the Vision, and he gets his ass handed to him by the Vision. He kind of has the Vision for a second, but the Vision gets out of it and kind of whoops Hawkeye's ass. But Scarlet Witch takes out the Vision, and so then we fucking flash again to Black Widow and Black Panther talking, and they're talking, and then you flash to Captain America and the CIA lady, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the CIA lady has all their stuff in the trunk of a nice little Volkswagen Bug, and Captain America kisses her, and she leaves them with the car, and Captain America and those guys drive in the Bug, and they go meet up with Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and Ant-Man. they go meet Ant-Man and everybody. And Ant-Man says, "Hey, thank you everybody for letting me be a part of the team, and hey, sorry Falcon that I got in a fight with you during my movie," and all that kind of shit. And Falcon's just like, "It won't happen again." But they warn Ant-Man about the trouble that they're about to get in, and he's all about it. He doesn't care. He wants to be a part of it. So then they have an alert that the airport is on lockdown due to Tony Stark. And so they all suit up, and Iron Man shows up, and War Machine shows up, and Black Widow shows up, and they confront Captain America, and Captain America is like, "I'm doing what I got to do," and Iron Man's like, "Well, you know what? But we're doing what we got to do, and we got to take you in, Captain America, and we had 36 hours, and now it's been 24, so I guess with math they had 12 hours left." But anyway, Captain America's not standing down. Iron Man calls in Spider-Man, and Spider-Man pulls away Captain America's shield. And so yeah, everybody starts arguing again, and then all kinds of various battles start going on. Spider-Man's kicking ass. Everyone's just kind of kicking everybody's ass. The Vision arrives, and everyone's fighting, and the Vision arrives, and then everybody kind of lines up on their individual sides for whose team they're on, and they go head on, and they have an all-out rumble. They just fucking start going at it. Everyone's fighting. This whole damn movie, Scarlet Witch just saves everybody's ass that's on her team, and she continues to do so. And Spider-Man, pretty much kind of does the same thing. He keeps doing cool ass shit. Um, there's a couple times that Hawkeye keeps having Ant-Man on a damn arrow and shoots him at shit. And he has, in this particular part, he has Ant-Man on one of his arrows, and he shoots a whole bunch of arrows at Iron Man, and Ant-Man, winds up getting an Iron Man suit and kind of causes some havoc, and then it kind of backfires on him and backfires on everybody anyway. And then everyone seems, but this whole time, like, everybody seems to want to be friends, like Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye Black Widow and Hawkeye are fighting, are we still friends? Well, as long as you don't hit me too hard, and they're just, feel obligated to fight. So everyone kind of keeps fighting, and then Ant-Man says, I'm going to do something. I've only done this once, and so I'm going to do this now. And he makes himself fucking giant and grabs War Machine. And then he throws War Machine, and Spider-Man catches him. And then War Machine and Spider-Man start going after giant Ant-Man. And then there's a whole bunch more little individual battles, some destruction. Fucking Black Widow, Captain America kind of gets away with the Winter Soldier, and Black Widow shows up and is talking to him, and she's like, I didn't want this kind of shit to happen, blah blah. And she turns around and shoots fucking Black Panther and helps Captain America and the Winter Soldier escape. Meanwhile, Spider-Man makes a reference to The Empire Strikes Back and wraps up giant Ant-Man like Luke Skywalker did to the Walker in The Empire Strikes Back. He wraps him up, and Iron Man and War Machine knock him down. Iron Man tells Spider-Man that he's done. You're no more fighting for you, kid. You're done. And then the Vision and Scarlet Witch, kind of kiss and make up. And, meanwhile, Captain America, and he's flying away in an airplane with the Winter Soldier trying to get away from everything. And War Machine goes after him, and the Falcon winds up shooting him. So War Machine, gets shot, and he loses power, and he just crashes to the fucking ground. And Iron Man, goes down there to help him, and Falcon shows up. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." And without hesitation, Iron Man just fucking blasts his ass. Then we flash to the Winter Soldier, or we flash to the other Winter Soldier. And I think that's the torture guy, basically. And then we flash to a hotel room with a dead guy in the bathtub. And then we flash back to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, flying in the airplane talking. Then we flash to fucking War Machine getting an MRI. And the Vision is telling Tony Stark that he's sorry for being distracted. Turns out War Machine has a severed spinal cord. And Tony Stark and Black Widow have an argument about Captain America and this whole regulation thing. Tony Stark looks at his fancy watch. He looks at his fancy watch, orders his chopper to be fired up, and he goes to find the torture guy on his watch. And the torture guy finds a hidden. Then we flash again. The torture guy finds a hidden storage facility in the snow. And then he finds files and a bunch of frozen guys, or he finds the frozen guys that are in stasis pods, basically. So then Stark shows up to a secret base / prison. Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Falcon, and Scarlet Witch are all there. Stark talks to Hawkeye, and he talks to Falcon. And, Falcon tells him, he's got to go after Captain America on his own. He's not going to help. So Tony Stark types some shit into his fancy watch, starts heading off, and the UN guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't go do whatever." And, Tony Stark basically tells him to fuck off and gets in his helicopter and flies away to go do what he's got to do. So then we flash to Captain America, the Winter Soldier. They arrive at the hidden storage facility place, and then Iron Man shows up. And the three of them look for the bad guy. And they find lots of dead guys in stasis pods. And the bad guy, starts to taunt them from the intercom. And he shows a video on a monitor for Tony Stark to see. And it shows that the people, that were in the beginning of the movie in the car wreck that the Winter Soldier caused were Tony Stark's parents. And the Winter Soldier killed his parents. And, so, obviously, Tony Stark's fucking pissed off, and he wants to kick the Winter Soldier's fucking ass. And, so Captain America gets in his way. Tony Stark, smacks Cap out of the way and goes after the Winter Soldier. Iron Man is pissed. He's blowing shit up, and Captain America keeps trying to stop him, and, Iron Man's not having it. Winter Soldier's trying to get away, and Iron Man blows up a thing at the top of a tube that the Winter Soldier is trying to escape from. He kind of blows something up to kind of create a cap on it, so the Winter Soldier can't escape, and he traps him in. And then Captain America and the Winter Soldier, tag team up on Iron Man. They just start, going at him, and they're beating him down. Iron Man's holding his own, at the same time. And then the Winter Soldier goes to, tear out, Iron Man's heart, his reactor in his heart, and winds up, he's getting it, and then it winds up burning Winter Soldier's metal arm off. And then Iron Man, makes a big old blast at Captain America, and Captain America holds up his shield and blocks it. And there's a big old boom, and then we flash to the Black Panther talking to the bad guy. And the bad guy, was talking about, he couldn't destroy the Avengers, so he wanted to get them to destroy themselves. And he, never meant for Black Panther's father to get killed, and he tries to kill himself, but Black Panther stops him from killing himself. And, that was kind of his whole thing, that he tried to manipulate the Avengers to destroy each other, and tries to kill himself. Black Panther stops him. And, so then we flash to Captain America and Iron Man fighting again. And Iron Man, kind of gets him down and makes him bleed, and he's like, "Stay down." And Captain America's like, "No." And then he gets up, and they start fighting again. And then Captain America gets the upper hand, just starts beating the shit out of Iron Man with a shield, knocks his helmet off, and has a real chance to, kill Tony. And he doesn't. He shoves the shield, across his chest. And, Captain America walks away with the shield still embedded in Iron Man's armor. And he's walking away with the Winter Soldier. And Iron Man tells him to leave that shield, that his father created it, and he doesn't deserve to have it. And Captain America leaves the shield behind and splits with the Winter Soldier. Then we flash to the fucking bad guy that, Black Panther stopped from killing himself. He's in prison now. And then we flash to Tony Stark with War Machine. There's so many flashes back and forth in this. But we flash to Tony Stark with War Machine, and he's helping him walk. And War Machine, says, "Don't help me," and he's not going to give up on this fight. He's going to be in it, and he's going to do it. And then all of a sudden, Stan Lee shows up with doing his usual cameo in these Marvel movies. But Stan Lee shows up with a delivery pack. He's delivering a package, and he asks for Tony Stank. He wants to talk to Tony Stank. He has a delivery for Tony Stank. And War Machine digs that. Tony Stark doesn't dig it, but anyway, the message is from Captain America, basically saying, that the Avengers are his, and it shows all the various Avengers in prison, and shows dead people. And Captain America says, he's sorry for not telling him how his parents died, and he promises, no matter what, he'll always be there for Tony Stark, and so will all the Avengers. And it looks like Captain America went and turned himself into prison. He went and turned, so everybody's in fucking prison except like fucking War Machine and Iron Man, and I guess Spider-Man. But it looks like basically everybody's in fucking prison, and it shows the Winter Soldier. It looks like he's going in some kind of a cryostasis to get his arm healed up, and he's at the prison too. It's this big facility, but yeah. So, and then it goes to the credits, and then how there's the usual kind of spoiler thing or whatever in Marvel movies during the credits, and basically, Captain America's, talking about, next time we're gonna do some shit, basically, and it's over. So anyway, that's Captain America: Civil War, and it comes out in theaters tonight, and I was fortunate enough to see it beforehand, and yeah, so if anyone cares, that's how that goes down. I'll talk to you later. Take care.